मैं जो अपने बारे में कहूँ तो the first time I used to be with HMV. I still am. I'm with everybody actually. But when T-Series took up my project, every single line hotel, really, every dhaba, every lorry driver knew my song Kali Teri Gut Tepar. You must have heard that song. Kali Teri Gut Tepar Anda Tera Lalni Aho. It really didn't matter what the language was. And T-Series really gave me that opportunity. So I think all of you know that people like Sonu Nigam, Kumar Sanu, sab to T-Series ke hi hain. And they all started off with T-Series. So these are only one or two names that I've taken, but there are so many others who have got wonderful, wonderful opportunities. So I think with such a backing, it would be really wonderful if you all take advantage of this and carry on with the classes. And so I request the parents, if the parents are here, then I would request them to know that come and see what the institution is all about. And if they are not here, I would tell the children to tell their parents that it's a fantastic opportunity, and I'm really happy, especially to see the kind of facilities that you are going to get. To be really marvelous, okay? If there's any questions you'd like to ask me, I'd be happy to answer it for you. We have a mic for you, and you could ask.
So, my question is suppose I'm singing and there is no problem with maintaining the pitch or the notes while I'm standing and just singing in one position. But what about when I'm dancing around? Or what about when I'm doing steps? You know, how do I maintain my stamina then? How do I make my voice not quiver?
Okay, let me tell you that very few people in the world, very few people, maybe like Michael Jackson, somebody who can really do everything together. Okay, I would suggest that it's better you concentrate, focus. If you're a singer, focus on your singing. That is more important than dancing around. But if you want to dance, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. For that, then you have to build up your stamina. And it's very important to have breath control. If you can know when to breathe and when to breathe out and hold your note, then it's okay. But that's a process. It can't just be answered in one question answer session. It is an ongoing process of learning how to breathe right. And I used to think that, it's not possible to sit and sing. But I realized that it's because I used to sing in a nightclub. I used to stand as well as sit on a high bar stool. So I found that it was just as easy sitting as it is standing. So if you learn to breathe properly, take good breathing classes, you'll be fine. You can dance and move around and sing. It won't make a problem. But if you are having a problem, then my advice to you is focus on the singing first and then on the dancing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Sit girl at the back.
Hello, hi, good evening, ma'am. I'm a parent actually. My kid is sitting just in front.
Oh, lovely. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Great opportunity for us parents also and for the kids as well.
Absolutely.
One very question I wanted to ask you. She's just about to be 13 in 1 month's time. Now we know that boys go through a voice change. Is it applicable for girls as well?
No, not really, no. It doesn't happen to the girls.
Of late, she has been complaining a little bit about her voice being a little, scratchy and not, being the voice that she used to have.
Okay.
She feels a little scratchy. So
you're in school now? Which class are you in?
She's in class 7 right now.
Class 7.
Right.
Okay. You know what happens in school is that, at least when I was in school, what happened to me was that I was so involved in taking part in all the social activities in school that I found that I was using my voice a little bit too much.
Oh, okay.
So that happens when you know, when you're young, you don't realize it. You just go with the flow, and that's
correct.
wonderful. So if you are taking too much on, like if you're doing elocution also, elocution, you know, if you're taking part in elocution, then if you're taking part in all the games, and if you're taking part in all the music fun, you know, evenings with the school and socials and things like that. And if you don't, in my time there were no microphones in school.
Right.
So we just use it. I think that is actually for me, touch wood, I think that's what's kept me going for so long, because I didn't always depend upon a microphone.
Right.
You see, so I learned how to throw my voice,
Right.
which is what is so important, because you can hear me even now when I talk.
Right. Yes, I
So that's very, very important.
Okay.
But what happens when you are much younger
Right.
is, I think, today's day and age,
Right.
we are exposed to so much more pollution.
I agree.
So much more. And I think it's the worst thing that is happening to singers or to people with voices today is the pollution. And that you really cannot control.
Right.
So the thing that you can control is yourself.
Yes.
Instead of trying to control and grumble and say this is polluted, that is polluted, or you know, if you, I'm sure you didn't even think about it.
No, I didn't.
But yeah, but it's the pollution that is making everybody cough all the time.
Okay.
So the thing I would suggest and advise to you and to your daughter
Right.
is to see that you don't talk too much. I also try before a show, I try to keep quiet, say for about an hour at least. If the TV people and the media would allow me to keep quiet, I'd be very happy. But they're always asking me for bites and this and that and the other. And I try to explain to them, but they don't listen to me.
Right.
So it would be the best thing if, supposing she had an elocution class tomorrow,
Okay.
then it's best that she doesn't take part in anything else for a little while.
Okay.
Because overusage of the voice can
I
harm.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it's nothing to worry about. She'll be fine.
Nothing like voice change and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
right?
She'll be fine.
Okay, thank you
Are
so
you going
much.
away? Oh dear. Okay, who's singing? Who's attending the class? Oh, okay. Yeah. So don't worry about it. It'll be okay.
All right. Thank
It's
you so
just-
much. I was quite happy.
Yeah, you're most welcome. But just remember, it's the pollution. So if you can avoid crowded places too much, like taking her out to the too many crowded areas, it will help. And also the allergies in the
Yes.
atmosphere is much more now.
I agree.
In fact, for me, when I go to Bangalore, certain areas,
Right.
the pollen content, you know pollen
Yes, I do.
from the flowers, yeah?
Yes.
So all kinds of flowers. In fact, today before I came here, I took an anti-allergy because I'm not sure what pollen affects my throat.
Exactly.
And there are flowers being given to me everywhere, and I love flowers. And it's not always that you would get good, like where I sing the kind of shows that I do, para shows, you know, road shows. When they give you flowers, it could be flowers from anywhere, you know, just picked up from the ground, and you don't know what pollen is there, you see, which is affecting you. So it could either be the pollution, or it could be overuse of voice, or the pollutants of pollen in the air. But she'll be fine. She's a little girl, so she'll be fine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. God bless.
Madam, I am not a parent, I am a student.
Okay.
So, actually, I wanted to focus on that about your today topic, to be yourself. So, I do a lot of covers in shows like that. So, whenever I sing, I get to, for example, I sing a Mohammed Rafi song.
Okay.
When I sing, then I find that I'm not exactly on the power of Mohammed Rafi.
Why do you want to be?
That's it. So if I sing like Kya hua tera wada wo kasam Koi Radha. This is. Now if I go to sing a Kishore Kumar song, it will be different. Ek mein aur ek tu. That's it. If I sing a Jubin song, Maya, like that, or Jitul song. So today when I heard you sing your song from Skyfall, that was not Adele's song, it was your song.
Yes.
I found that
That
it was
is what
you.
is so important. Why do you want to sing like Mohammed Rafi?
Actually, I don't want to sing. In
Then don't.
My voice should be mine. So with a little
Completely.
bit of nasal intonation, like I'm talking right now. So I unconsciously, probably,
It happens.
it
yeah.
happens. So an audience perception is also like that when they hear a song, they've been recorded by some artist, like say legendary artist. This song
They expect that.
and they expect it.
But
So
I'll tell you something, if they expect that and you give them your interpretation,
yes,
I can assure you, without a doubt, they will love you. They will love you because they will know that it is you who is trying to communicate the song to them, not take Muhammad Rafi to them.
exactly, and focus on the lyrics and what it's trying to say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm a strong believer of people, doing covers and everything like that. I think it's wonderful because many people say, "Oh, you do only covers? Don't you have any original?" How can everybody have an original?
Exactly.
When you started singing, or when I started singing, I didn't have an original. I was only doing other people's songs. But then everybody in the world does songs of other people. What's wrong in that? The legends, I mean, not in the film industry here, because we've got all rubbish kind of ideas, People think that if it's a Kishore Kumar song, Kishore Kumar would never sing Mohammed Rafi. Mohammed Rafi wouldn't sing Mukesh. Mukesh wouldn't. It's all rubbish, actually. And Lata Mangeshkar won't sing us. I don't believe in that. And I think I'm one of those who broke the mold, actually. And I used to sing, Haal kaisa hai janab ka. I sang it totally in my style because I can't sing like Kishore Kumar. I never wanted to either. I don't want to sing like anyone else because, first of all, I can't be you. It's impossible. And why would you want to be anybody? Because you will always be just a clone. You'll only be an imitation or a part of a mimicry. Whereas if you sing your version, your interpretation of Kya Hua Tera Vada, Ukasam Wo Irade, there's so many things you could want to say through that song, and your interpretation is much, much more important. In fact, I've told that to Amit Kumar, Kishore Kumar's son. I've said it to Yesudas' son, that is Vijay Yesudas. I've said it to so many people. I always say that to Amit Kumar, I've said that आप तो हमेशा किशोर कुमार के बेटे रहेंगे. There is no doubt on that. So why do you want to be like him? Let the others try to be like him.
Exactly.
You sing like Amit Kumar and you'll be more popular than anything else. But if you try and copy Kishore Kumar, you will only be a poor copy.
Yes.
You can only be a poor copy because you cannot sing.
So
like
being
him.
honest to myself is the
Most important.
Like in the West, they always never sing like the original. That's 60s song. When the sun shines on the mountain. That's sung very differently by every other artist.
Everybody sings it differently. Which is why when I sing, say, Fever or Jambalaya or any of the English songs or even when I sang for Lata Mangeshkar's 75th birthday, I sang Ajib Dasta and Bindya Chamkegi, and she was moved to tears. She really loved my rendition because I didn't try to sing like her. Whereas everybody else, all the big singers like Alka Yagnik, Kavita Krishnamurti, everybody was trying to sing Ajare Pardesi or whatever the song were exactly like her. But you can't.
You can't.
You cannot. You can only sing like you. And so I feel if you develop on you yourself,
Exactly.
you'll be much nicer.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I love you already. Yeah. And your style. Yeah. That's most important. Just carry on singing. Don't give it up. Any more questions? I'd be happy to. आप बोलिए.
मैम आई लव माई कल्चर वेरी मच. तो मैं विष्णुप्रिया मणिपुरी कल्चर से बिलोंग करता हूँ
जी.
तो मैम विष्णुप्रिया का फोक जो है मैम
जी.
आपको थोड़ा सा सुनाना चाहता हूँ.
हाँ जरूर सुनाइएगा.
ओके मैम.
हम सब खुश होंगे.
थैंक यू.
ये कौन से लैंग्वेज में होगा?
विष्णुप्रिया मणिपुर.
ओके मणिपुर से. अच्छा.
কৃষ্ণর তোমার যারে গ্যামে মনর জ্বালা করতো. কৃষ্ণর তোমার যারে গ্যামে মনর জ্বালা করতো. আহিতই নাই তৈ প্রভু, আহিতই নাই তৈ প্রভু, তারাম তবে হার পেত মিতে হার পেল জিন টানাই তো. কৃষ্ণ রে তেনা পেত আই তো ভুলিয়া না আই তো ভুলিয়া না জনমা না পেত মিতে হার পেল যে তাই তো.
That's brilliant. Are you a professional?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm trying not to too much, ma'am. कर रहा हूँ मैं.
No, यानी आप प्रोफेशनली गा रहे हैं.
हाँ, मैं गा रहा हूँ मैम.
सुपर वर्क किससे सीख रहे हैं?
मैंने जो चक्रवर्ती कोलकाता से थोड़ा वोकल ट्रेनिंग किया.
कौन?
जो चक्रवर्ती.
ओके.
आफ्टर दैट मेरे सिलचर में एक टीचर है
जी.
उससे थोड़ा सा ट्रेन दिया वोकल ट्रेनिंग. बट आई फील मुझे वो फील आता है इसमें क्या गाना चाहिए, क्या बोलूँ मैं, वो आई नॉलेज आ गया थोड़ा.
आ गया.
हाँ मैम.
But it's fantastic. Really, you have a lovely voice.
थैंक यू मैम.
और अगर म्यूजिशियंस और सब होते तो और भी चार चांद देते. Very important to keep your pitch. Yeah.
या थैंक यू.
Super singing.
थैंक यू मैम.
Yes. Now you can say it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you a question about pitch. How to correct it. I mean, you haven't learned music from anywhere, and I am also a self-taught singer. So I use the things that you're talking about, like thinking about the things that you're singing about, which helps me kind of like also like thinking that this is here, that note is there. But sometimes I falter. And have you used any exercises or while singing, do you think about doing it some way that helps
About
you?
the pitch.
Yeah, that's you remain in pitch.
Yeah, I think the most important thing about that is about staying in pitch. I mean, obviously you're a singer already, right? And you sing. You sing with musicians. Okay. How many musicians do you have?
I've been just doing acoustic shows for now, just 1 or 2 full band shows, but mostly Western songs, Hindi too.
What do you sing? What Western music do you sing?
I mean,
You can sing, no problem.
I'll sing one Hindi song.
Yeah.
शाम भी हुई जैसे है नदी, लहर लहर जैसे बह रही है, कोई अनकही कोई अनसुनी बात धीमी धीमी कह रही है, कहीं ना कहीं जागी हुई है कोई आरज़ू, कहीं ना कहीं खोए हुए से है और तू. है मदहोश दोनों, जो गुमसुम है ये फिजाएं, जो कहती सुनती है ये निगाहें, गुमसुम है ये फिजाएं, है ना।
Lovely, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, really nice. So you've been singing with the band, right? And to sing without any instrument. Sometimes what you should do is, I would say this to everybody actually, when you sing without any instrument, okay? And then if you, now of course you have enough of facility to record yourself, right? So if you just, put on the telephone, on your mobile, just record yourself and put a stop to it and then sing again the same song and see if you have lost or gained any pitch. कहीं पर भी sharp हो रहा है या कहीं पर भी flat हो रहा है. वैसे तो अगर आप देखेंगे तो if you are really good on pitching, it will almost always be the same. Okay, अगर यहाँ वहाँ थोड़ा shift हुआ है, it's because of the ambience in the room. That I will have to explain to you during a class. But what I will tell you first and foremost, if you said whether I think about anything, it's most important to all the time. Do you use drums? Do you use drums?
Yeah, I don't.
You have drums?
Yeah, sometimes, or a cajon.
Cajon. Okay. Each and every room has got different headroom and also acoustics. Every room has different acoustics. So there are certain frequencies which keep resonating. तो अगर आप सोचिए ध्यान नहीं है, you're listening or you're thrilled with the audience. Sometimes it happens to me. I get so involved with the audience that if you are not alert and if you don't listen to the keyboards, because keyboard and guitar is the most important melodic instrument for you. You should not listen to either the drums or the cajon. It's very difficult because, for your tal, your basic tal is there, so you got your tal going. But if you listen to certain notes, even bass guitar, it resonates differently and you'll get another pitch. So after everything like Shan, if I'm doing Shan, say, okay, it's so loud and my band is so loud. Excuse me. I wonder, how am I going to get the pitch? कभी-कभी डर लगता है, and it happens to me almost every day because the music is so loud. So you have to be alert and listen. Focus your mind. If you're using guitar,
I don't play guitar.
No. Whoever is playing guitar or keyboard, try to tune your ears in such a way, or your focus. Concentrate from now, today onwards, on the melodic instrument, so that you will never go wrong if you are tuned to that instrument. It's not such a good idea to listen to a flute. If you're using a flute, because a flute can give you the wrong kind of resonance. Flute is very tough. It's also not a good idea to listen to either trumpet or any of the wind instruments. But try to listen mainly if you're using a guitar or a keyboard. Or if somebody is playing harmonium for you, then listen to that note and focus on that note, then you won't go wrong.
Thank you.
You will not go wrong. But what happens on the stage is everybody is so bothered about dish, too much of drums, and it goes so much that you lose your concentration. तो इसको बहुत ध्यान से आपको concentrate करना पड़ेगा, that you listen to the melodic instrument most importantly. And if you have by any chance a flute, never listen to that. I mean, you can listen and say, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Uske baad agar song mein na ho wo, ask the keyboard to give you a note after the flute solo. Don't come in direct. If you're doing a live show, I'm saying, don't do come in direct. These are all tricks which I have learned through my years of singing. And small छोटे बातें जो बहुत important होते हैं और कभी इतना like these days